Today I'm so excited to be here with you, and I am even more excited to introduce you to my friend, daughter in my church, just an altogether amazing woman of God that you are going to love. This is Carleen Denis. Carleen, thank you for being here today.
Thank you guys for having me.
You're going to love Carleen's story. Today it is especially about those of you who've had your plans for your future derailed by unexpected events. Carleen, doesn't that describe you?
Absolutely, it does.
Okay, well, we're gonna go back a little bit, guys. I'm gonna just tell you a little bit about her story, and then I'm gonna take you through this a little bit with her. She not only, you might know, is the owner of Kissable Skincare, that company, but her health struggle, she has amazing children, an awesome family. She is the head of communications here at Hope NYC, the church I pastor, and she is a life coach, and there is so much that she does. But I want to go back, Carleen, to the day that you were in the shower and your hair was falling out in your hands. Can you tell us what was happening and what was going on?
Well, at that point, I didn't know it. I was in the shower and I felt the water hit my scalp really weird, like there's nothing there. And I touched it and it felt kind of bald. So I jumped from the shower and I went to the bathroom mirror, and sure enough, there was a huge bald spot, touched the area, and a lump of hair was in my hand. And I'm like, it's almost like you'd seen in the movies with people with chemotherapy.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I'm losing my hair. Something is wrong. I knew prior to that I hadn't been feeling well and I was struggling. So, of course, the next thing I did was I went to the doctor. The doctor said, you just had a newborn baby, you're tired, it's most probably postpartum, and he sent me back to my gynecologist.
Yeah.
My gynecologist says that go back to your doctor, it's nothing to do with postpartum, something is going on. Well, long story short, after about 7 years of struggling.
7 years.
7 years of struggling, being sick, being tired, being lethargic, brain fog, having vertigo, Bell's palsy, tons of infections, I was finally diagnosed with having Hashimoto autoimmune deficiency syndrome.
Hashimoto's, for those of you who, and I'm familiar with this, by the way, because one of the reasons why I'm familiar is because Pastor Kurt had hypothyroidism. And so in my own research, 25 years ago, I heard about Hashimoto's, and it is a thyroid-based disease, autoimmune disease, right?
Yes, it is. It was basically that my immune system was attacking my thyroid, and my body was literally fighting against itself. And there was no cure for it. One of the symptoms of that disease, I had extremely dry skin.
Okay.
Almost like an alligator, rough and kind of very flaky. I used everything.
Okay, Carleen, we all got the alligator skin. If you are a New Yorker, it's like, and talk about flaky. My skin does its own thing in the winter. Is that what we're talking about? Like,
no, I'm talking about year-round, every season, you have alligator skin.
Oh, that would not be nice.
I mean, you're uncomfortable wearing shorts. You've literally changed your wardrobe into maxi dresses in the summer because you want to hide your ashy legs.
And for those of you who think this is vanity, it's because you obviously never had a skin issue. Skin issues are real deals, especially for women. And, to some people, it seems like a vain thing to be so concerned about it. But I, in my own life, have had such issues with that, being allergic to things and breaking out and having people say, what is going on with your skin? And especially for our young ladies, our daughters, and people like that who have those kinds of issues, that could be very traumatizing.
Especially like eczema too.
Yeah.
That's also, and people are not kind.
No,
they kind of look at you like you have leprosy.
Yeah, and they can't touch you.
Yes.
Can't come close to you.
Yes.
So you had alligator skin, you called it, and for 7 years.
Yes, it kept getting worse, and nothing I used worked.
And this was as a result of Hashimoto's?
It was one of my side effects was the really dry skin. And I drank water, I hydrated, but for some reason my skin didn't look healthy at all. And no matter what I tried, it didn't work. And growing up in the...
And you tried everything?
I tried everything. I mean, I had 3 babies and we put Aquaphor on them like it was no tomorrow, and Vaseline. And I tried all the baby stuff.
Did you try shea butter? Cocoa butter.
Well, that's how this came about.
Okay, tell us.
So right around that time was when shea butter was was coming on the market, and somebody had told me about it. So I took the shea butter and I bought it at the Hen Beauty Supply store, and I go like, actually I had a dream. Because I was really becoming self-conscious and I was saying, God, I need to get rid of this. So I had a dream of certain oils to mix together.
Yeah.
And so I went in search of them, and that's how I discovered shea butter actually.
Okay.
And then I started mixing them together and I started using it on my skin. And within about 2 weeks, I saw improvement. I realized I did not have to wear pantyhose to church during the summer. Yeah. I could actually have my legs out, which was hip hip, hallelujah. So I'm like, wow, I'm starting to feel silky again.
I just gotta say this: if you ever had to wear pantyhose during the summer, you know what the hallelujah is about. It's something else.
Yes,
you know?
it is.
Oh, go ahead.
And then I also decided, well, I was reading up on exfoliating the dead dry skin, so I started making scrubs at home also, using basic things from my kitchen.
So everything's very organic.
Everything is very organic, because I had also changed the way that I ate, which was helping me through a herbalist that helped me with my symptoms of the disease. So I found out that what you eat is just as important as what you put on your skin, because your skin is the largest organ in your body, and chemicals from all these fancy lotions,
pesticides, toxins,
could slip into your bloodstream and have an adverse effect on your health. So it was totally all natural. Every ingredient in my products, and I thereafter started using, had to be totally all natural.
Love that. So tell me some of the other symptoms of Hashimoto's.
Okay. For some mothers, for women especially, because women has the highest rate of Hashimoto, you will feel extremely tired and fatigued. Things that were normal to you, you will feel fatigued, brain fog, you kind of confused a lot, lethargic, achiness. You will get a lot of joint pains and muscle pains. You will sleep 8 hours and wake up not feeling rested at all. Just that constant tiredness. Then you're going to get weight gain. You slow down, like, why am I gaining weight?
So your metabolism just goes crazy.
Right. And
nobody likes that.
Your hair will also start thinning. For some people, the thinning hair.
This thing's all...
Yes. thinning hair, bleedy gums. All these are part of the process.
Tell us what it was like knowing something was wrong, hearing doctors say we can't find anything wrong. How frustrating is that? And what do you have to say to those girls out there who, you know, when something's wrong with you, you know. Having come through myself, you know, doctors saying you might have cancer or we can't find, and then ultimately there's nothing wrong there, but you know, you can tell how do you tell these women that it is your body? You know, what do you have to say to them?
Your body speaks to you. As mothers and caretakers, we tend to take care of everybody other than ourselves. We're tired and we still want to help you, but our bodies are telling us something is wrong. Listen to your body and listen to your instinct. When you go to the doctor, tell him exactly what's going on with you. Do not leave out one symptom, because sometimes one symptom is the difference between being diagnosed in a particular area of illness. If the doctor is not answering your question, do some research. Ask people, read, be aggressive with your help. I know now a lot of doctors, they want to see as many patients as possible, so your time with them is really short. I remember having to write down questions before I went to the doctor. Even when he wanted to prescribe me a medicine, I'm like, so what exactly will this be doing for me? Does it help my symptoms? Will it help my disease? So you need to be aggressive with your health. With your health, it is your responsibility.
I like that. That's such good information. And because I know sometimes a few decades ago, you went in, you sat down, they told you something, and you left. Kind of afraid to ask your own questions, you know, but I realize that nobody is going to care about your body like you care about your body. And even in the scripture, you know, the Lord says to love one another as you love yourself. And so it's that ability to love yourself enough to ask the right questions that's really probably going to make a difference, like she says, about between a right diagnosis and a false one. So Carleen, you realized something was wrong. You got your diagnosis of Hashimoto's. You have your lethargy. You have the hair falling out. You have the tiredness, the achiness. She said she couldn't get from kitchen to bedroom without getting winded. And so you started making product. Was it mostly to deal with your skin issue? What about the other issues? What did you do about that?
The other issues, when the doctor said to me that there was no real cure for my autoimmune disease, I immediately moved to a herbalist, a homeopath. And he helped me reset my body, Dietary.
Okay.
He said to me that, believe it or not, a lot of the foods that I was eating was affecting and creating inflammation in my body.
Yeah, so you had a lot of inflammation.
A lot of inflammation. And so he helped me reset my body through doing lots of juicing and natural fruits and vegetables and cutting out refined sugars and starches and carbs and all that stuff out of my body. And I saw a huge difference when I started eating right.
You know, and that's why, by the way, that 21-day fast that we do every year.
It's a reset.
Yeah, it's a reset. It's not just a spiritual exercise, but your whole body responds to that. And people, you know, lose their diabetes and they lose their, you know, if you are interested, if you're watching us for the first time and you weren't a part of our 21-day fast, we have not only a book called Beyond the 21, we have a daily 21-day process, a blog. We're going to share it, a link below on our YouTube channel, which is Preacher Girl TV. So you could go and get all of that information for free right now. Just click on the link. If you want to do that reset, what Carleen's talking about is exactly what a Daniel fast looks like. Fresh fruit and vegetables, no carbs, no processed sugars. And you cut out a lot of the unnaturals. And so did your body start healing? Could you feel a difference?
I felt an immediate difference. My energy level, though I was eating less, went up. I actually started feeling rested. The aches and pains in my body subsided dramatically. I started seeing a difference in a lot of the symptoms that I was experiencing, and I didn't get flare-ups as easy, because sometimes there are triggers. If you eat the wrong thing, you will get a flare-up. And I literally proved my diet was helping, because I would just eat something I know I shouldn't eat, because, you know, sometimes we like chocolate. Bread smells really good.
Look, I'm full disclosure, I had chocolate last night. I had 3 breads yesterday. I'm not talking about 3 slices. I'm talking about 3 full bread. I'm still a carb eater. Yeah. But my 21-day fast gives me, I feel like, a certain freedom to do that. And my bread is baked here in the house.
You know exactly what's going in it. So I indulged. And the moment I started indulging in the things that I shouldn't be eating, I literally felt my body get sick again.
I see.
So for me, it was like, okay, this is not going to be some fly-by-night. This is going to have to be a lifestyle change in terms of getting more fruits and vegetables and fresh fruits and vegetables into my diet, more so than processed foods.
I heard this when she said that. It reminds me of something, girls. My mom used to say this, and they used to teach us this in school. And today they're saying the food pyramid was all wrong and everything's all messed up today. But my mom used to say, and we learned, that you never eat a meal that's not half a plate of veggies. So whatever you're eating, half the plate should be vegetables. And if you ate that way, you wouldn't have to forego everything in the world because you would be getting your nutrients and your vegetables. Do you think that makes sense?
That makes a lot of sense because I grew up in St.
The
Lucia,
Caribbean,
in the Caribbean.
yes.
And believe it or not, in the Caribbean, majority of our food is starches.
Really?
From the dashing to the yams, the green bananas, they're filled
Okay,
with
I'm
starch.
Trini, okay? I'm a Trini girl, and I did not grow up with the starches.
Nah.
I grew up with a lot of it was green beans, obodi, and okra, and tomatoes, and cucumbers. My grandfather was a farmer, so we got a ton of fresh veggies, not too many roots. So that's a little different from the islands.
We have vegetables, but St. Lucia is very big on provisions.
Oh, I see, on the roots and the tubes.
And those roots have a lot of starch in it,
which turns to sugar in your body.
Hence the reason why you have a higher rate of diabetes, because you've been consuming those starches ever since your baby.
It's them yam and eddos and
we give those babies
cassava
and arrowroot flour. We're giving those children from the time they're young. It is a starch.
No wonder. Okay. So we gotta get back on track, or else we could talk about food forever. So you started using all natural products. You started making your own at-home remedies for your skin.
Yes.
And take us from there. What happened?
I started, and friends actually saw the difference in my skin. Like if I would be out with a strapless dress, like, oh my God, your skin feels so smooth. What you using? So I'd say, well, I would like to recommend it to you, but it's stuff that I make for myself. So one or two people asked me to make it for them, and so I made it for them, and they really fell in love. Like, you should sell this.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of junk on the store shelves. You should really sell this. And then I hesitated at first, but then I prayed about it and I got the release to start Kissable Skincare. God gave me everything down to the name, and I started it, and it ended up being a huge blessing in my life. I did tons of pop-up shops and sipping shops where we'd be sipping and shopping. We'd be giving them wine and stuff, and they'd be spending money and not knowing.
Oh my
Don't
gosh.
do that.
I would never.
Don't do that. And one of the parents who ended up being a very good friend of mine who was using my product, she and her husband absolutely believed in the product because they were using it and they loved the way their skin felt and their children's skin felt. And one day she came to me and she said to me, I have a friend who's a producer on the Dr. Oz show who's looking for people to be on the show so that they could have Barbara Cochran is coming in to give them tips on to how to take their business to the next level. I really believe in you and I really believe in your products. I would like you to, if you wanted to do it. And sure enough, I apprehensively said yes. I mean, Dr. Oz, that's like thousands of people.
That's like millions of people.
I'm like, that's
almost as big as PGTV. Just kidding.
That was kind of scary. But I did it, and it was a wonderful experience, and I got a lot of amazing tips. And after being on the show, of course, my business took off.
Yes.
But I relocated in the process, and everything in my world kind of fell apart during the relocation. So I had to put my dream and my baby on hold so I could help my family transition to our new location.
I'm glad she got us here. So yes, she has been on the Dr. Oz show, and these products have been, they're in my shower. I use them every single day. So in love with the soap, so in love with the scrub. I love them. That lavender soap, I used it till it was this big. Anyway, but I like that she mentioned that her dream got derailed, and sometimes as women, especially men too, but pregnancies and putting your stuff off for your kids, for your husband, sometimes the dreams we have just have to be put on a back burner. I want you to speak to the girls today who might have in their teens, 20s and 30s, or even their 40s thought, I would have liked to, but now it's too late. Talk to them.
Well, I'd like to say to you that if you're listening to me right now and you were once this young woman who had a dream of being a nurse, a doctor, starting your own business, and for some reason life happened, there was an unexpected pregnancy, there was you having to give up your dreams to take care of your family, not having the resources to make what was in your heart a reality, it's not too late. It took me quite some time. It took me quite a delay to do what I had to do. But if it's in your heart, if God gave you that dream, He birthed it in your heart, He is going to make sure that He gives you the resources and the contacts to make it a reality. And it's not too late for you. I was a stay-at-home mom for 16 years. I'd lost myself in being that. I never thought that I would have a life after taking care of my kids. But somehow God rekindled that fire, that dream He had inside of me. And He's doing it for me. And I'm in my late 40s now. So it's not too late for you. Life happens for you. It doesn't happen to you. So it's time for you to get back up. If you fall 5 times, get up 6 times and start that dream that you have inside of you. Start that business, start that school, go back to school. Whatever it is that you have in you to do it. Don't delay.
I love that, and I hope that you're listening. It's pretty much what we keep telling you, that if God called you to do something, nobody can uncall you, and that your ministry is not necessarily behind a pulpit. And you don't need a pulpit, you just need the message, And so, Carleen, not only I'm so glad to see Kissable Skincare reborn, so to speak, because I would have never known that it existed had she not let me try some of the stuff that is available on her line. But not only is Carleen the owner of Kissable Skincare, she's also a certified life coach. And tell us just in a nutshell, who is it that you coach? Who is it that is your ideal customer or your ideal mentee?
My ideal customer and my ideal mentee is that woman who feels stuck. Mm-hmm. That woman who feels trapped. And the person that she envisions on the inside of her is not the reality that she's living. And she doesn't know how to navigate from the internal to the external person. She's suffering from lack of self-confidence, limiting self-beliefs. She has a lot of hindrances in her life because of pain that she has gone through, because of words that were spoken over her life that she bought into. That's my ideal client, and I like to say to them to speak to the person in them, and I love them understanding and knowing who God has called them to be.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things I always tell people, when God created man and He looked at man, He said, "It is good." However, we go to everything that is bad about us rather than forgetting that God said it is good.
Yeah.
He saw you and He saw you perfect. He put everything that you need in you to be a success. Everything you need to survive, to thrive, to have a whole life available to you. And it's time that we break out of all those limiting beliefs. It's time that we walk in the boldness and in the confidence, in our God confidence, I like to say, in our God confidence, and be all that He has called us to be, because we all have a story, and that story is really to help somebody else in their journey in getting into a relationship with God.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And ladies, I hope that Carleen has inspired you. That's why she's here today on this show. If you'd like to get in touch with Carleen, tell them how they can find you.
You could find me on Facebook. You could find me on Instagram, Coach Carleen Denis on Instagram, Coach Carleen Denis on Facebook, Kissable Skincare LLC on Facebook. You could follow me. You could inbox me. There are also numbers you could reach me. I would love to work with you. I would love to help you realize that dream that's inside of you.
And get amazing skin. All right, so as we wind down, we've got to do the best thing ever. And this basket, girls, I can't even... I'm coveting right now, and I'm looking to see, wait, what do I not have? And I have pretty much all of these things because I love them. I love the lavender set especially. I love I got little candles in mine, and it was just so great. Anyway, but this entire set here has, I think I'm counting like 12 or 13 items in it. And Carleen has generously donated this entire package, and one of you preacher girls are going to win this, and we're going to do a drawing. So once you see this, if you are watching this on YouTube, on Preacher Girl TV, like and subscribe if you have not yet done so to the channel. Leave us a comment, and your comment is going to say, I love Kissable Skincare. Tag Carleen in it. I love Kissable Skincare. And share it on your Instagram or Facebook. That's how you enter the drawing to win this package. We hope, and I pray and hope, that by the time you see this, that you still have an opportunity to win it. But you can go and get these for yourself, especially those of you who might have, issues with dry skin or anything like that. And definitely those of you ladies who could use a good coach and a good mentor. And I'm trusting her with my people in my church. So I'm telling you that I believe that you can trust her as well to help you become who God called you to be. So Carleen, thank you today.
Thank you for this amazing opportunity, Pastor.
Are you kidding? It's my pleasure. It was so good to have you here. And I look forward to working with you and for you to work with all of these amazing girls. Girls, don't you ever forget that if God called you, no one can uncall you. And you do not need a pulpit. You just need a message. I love you so much.